Good evening, everyone. Please, I would
Good.
love to find out if I can be heard.
Yeah, I can hear you
Yes, we can hear
quite
you.
well.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. We're about 5 minutes late already. We just had to hold on for a couple more persons to join us. Yeah, but I believe we should begin. So would be starting right away. Um, Okay, so first of all, I want to thank and welcome each and every one of you to this um, handing over service and policy document launch ceremony, yeah, of NIMSA SCOPI. It's been a year or more, and we have judiciously, I believe, even if I am to say that, carried out responsibilities as NIMSA SCOPI, and like they say, everything that has a beginning has an ending. And also, whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. So if we're ending, we should end well, even as we started out well and we ran the race through well again, even if I am to say so. Yes. All right. So, first of all, I want to acknowledge the presence of my own very director, our director, the NIMSA SCOPI director, Victor Likwachi. And I also want to acknowledge the presence of, well, every other official of NIMSA here whose names will be called out and everyone will be acknowledged subsequently. Yes, so this is us, or this is me welcoming you officially to this handover ceremony and policy document launch. I'd want to encourage that you stay tuned and pay attention to every activity, every item on the agenda, as we do not intend to take all day, and we intend to be as concise as possible, but each and everything that we will do here is worth it. So please, let's stay tuned, let's be attentive and contribute as much as we can during the course of this program. All right, so without much ado, I would invite the SCOPI director for his welcome address. We're not a live audience, per se. I would have asked us to put our hands together as we welcome the director, or whichever way, let's welcome the director for his welcome address.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes.
All right.
With you.
Let me try to look through the participant session. Okay. All right. The outgoing president of the Nigerian Medical Students Association, the NIMSA president-elect, all outgoing standing committee directors. I can see Demetha, you're present. I would still check out to see if others are here yet. The NOC and NEC members, outgoing and incoming, I welcome you all. I also want to welcome all our specially invited, the distinguished SCOPI academic trainers, my predecessors, SCOPI NEC and liaison officers, and every name site present this evening. I would have loved to share my screen so that you'd see my face, but then I believe before we wrap up, I will do that. But for now, we are having a little power interruption. All right, so I want to specially and officially welcome you all to this award, handover and policy NIMSA policy document launch ceremony. My name is Elekwachi Victor Chukwemeka, the outgoing National SCOPI Director 2022, and I'm really delighted and excited to have you all here. Tonight reminds me of the kickoff of this administration. It looked so well started, from little and from obscurity to the much we have made of it. I must tell you, it was very discouraging and at the same time challenging. I could vividly remember me trying to put my words carefully in order not to discourage my members, to tell them what I met on ground when I assumed office. I was so careful, and rather than making them scared, I made them believe that SCOPI was a big deal and that we will work together to make a bigger deal of it. And so my mantra was, we'll do great things together. I believe every SCOPI diamond here can relate with that. I released the agenda for the year in February. I think that was the beginning of my troubles because I implicated myself by showing all NIM sites my dreams that at that time were not worthy to be called a plan. But then all I had as at then was just a strong will, hope, and coupled with an extraordinary team. We launched out into the sea and have had our own fair share of the high and the lows, the wides and the tides, and even the storms of fear and disappointments, But amongst it all, we remained resolute to make a difference and leave records of impact and not excuses. I want to thank God that we had enough faith to show the world our dreams, which we called the agenda for the year. Else we would have, or we might have, continued in the sleep of fear and discouragement. At this point, I want to urge you all to sit back comfortably as we take you through our great works for the year 2022, even as we launch our mega projects and award officials that made it all possible. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you. So over to you, Gift.
All right, thank you very much, Saya. Thank you so much for that beautiful speech. Okay, I want to correct my error from the beginning. I didn't introduce myself, and I'm very sorry about that. Not just me, I was supposed to introduce as well my co-anchor because I am not doing this alone. Yeah, I guess the excitement of the handover and the launching just carried me away, but it has carried me back. So I'm here now to introduce myself. My name is Gift Ibulon. I'm the programs coordinator of NIMSA SCOPI. And this evening, or for this event, I'll be working with my very able assistant programs coordinator, beloved Abele Moge. So, beloved, please, over to you.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening,
Good evening. Yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you all very, very much. So I end of this our award and then policy launch document program. Yeah, indeed, very, very good. So like the director said, this year has not actually, this year was like the best year for us ever since and then the beginning was not easy, I would not lie to you. So for the next agenda of the program, we'll be giving a little talk about SCOPI or SCOPI as you may know it. So I'll be anchoring that. And then, okay, so it's worthy of us to know that SCOPI is a standing committee for policy implementation. One of the standing committees, the various standing committees in NIMSA. And then you should know that SCOPI was established in March 2019, and then we've had different leaders up until now. And at the beginning of this year,
Okay, I don't know if it's just at my end, but below I can't really get you. I don't know if everyone else or any other person is experiencing the same thing as well, so we don't miss out on
Yeah, it's actually cracking.
Yeah, so below
same
you
here.
can
I can
hear us.
yeah.
Don't know if you mind moving from your present location because it's really cracking and we can't follow through.
Hi guys, good evening everyone.
Good evening, Shaya. Beloved, are you still with us, please? Hello there, beloved. Hello there, beloved. Okay, we're very sorry about this. I believe it's the network, and that part we really do not have control over. So I think I'd have to hold brief for him till he comes back. Okay, the last thing I heard him say was that SCOPI was established in the NISA 2018/2019 administration. And all right, so the the role of NINSA basically is to checkmate the actions of all NINSA officials, being a policy and implementation. That's emphasis on the implementation aspect now. To checkmate the actions of all NINSA officials, standing committees, as well as review, make, and implement policies. And like we all know, policy implementation is taking action in order to address a problem for which a policy, a law, a rule, however you put it, has been made. Okay, so briefly, the vision of NINSA, of NINSA SCOPI goes towards. Medical practice has always been known to go with advocacy, and SCOPI has been founded to put this into place. SCOPI hopes for a NINSA where students and doctors can advocate for medical institutions and the nation via pre-formed policies and make reviews on how to maximize policies for members of the society. Yes, I know that's quite long, but it's a work in progress. But that is our vision. That is what we hope to achieve. And we hope to achieve this through making sure policies concerning the health sector are well implemented and carried out for proper functioning of the health sector, and by training our members and medical students on policy writing and documentation, including amendment and review of existing policies. We also hope to do so by recommending policies to the government that improve the health and well-being of the general society, and calling on individuals and private investors to partner more with the health sector for improved medical facilities and amenities. All right, so lastly, we had to do well to spell out the role of every member of SCOPI, so we know why indeed we are here and what every member of this standing committee has to do, the role we all have to play. So the first is participating in campaigns targeted at implementation of health policies. Then checkmating the actions of NIMSA governing body, rather, the various standing committees and themselves for the smooth running of the NIMSA government, that the various standing committees and NIMSA SCOPI herself. So then next is constant review of the NIMSA policies. Then participating in policy writing by sharing ideas to those responsible for policy implementation. And lastly, active participation during calls to action targeted to the government, NGOs, and the private sector concerning the implementation of health policies. All right, so in a nutshell, that is what NIMSA SCOPI is about. That is who we are, it is what we do. So at this point, I don't know if Beloved is back yet with us, or am I steering this ship alone? Beloved, are you here? And is your network better now? Okay, we still can't hear Beloved, although I can see him on the list. Yeah. All right, so we'll proceed. We do not want to lag. So the next item on our agenda for this event is a brief summary of the activities of NIMSA SCOPI for the year 2022. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so before I proceed, I'd love to acknowledge the presence of some very wonderful officials that have joined us. Like we said in the beginning, as we have them join us, we would acknowledge them. So we have with us here the AMSU President, Bola Owati. Thank you very much for joining us. We also have the outgoing SCOP Director, Temitayo Matthew. Thank you so much for your presence. Also, the outgoing VPI, Vice President Daniel, Idodo Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Also, here with us is the outgoing Preclinicals Forum Coordinator, Turobong Obut. Thank you so much. For those we haven't mentioned yet, we do honor you and we're very glad to have you here with us. And with time, we're going to acknowledge your presence. So we'll proceed now. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is a brief summary of the programs carried out by SCOPI, by NIMSA SCOPI in 2022. Yes, so I'm going to quickly run through this. Like our director has said, it wasn't a smooth ride, being that we didn't have so much precedence to work on. Okay, before I proceed, it is very important that I acknowledge the presence of our NIMSA president-elect, who has joined us in the person of Eugene Skill Egba. Thank you very much, sir. We are honored to have you here with us. All right. So let me proceed. Like our director has said, we didn't have a smooth ride because we didn't have so much precedent to work on. But then, once upon a time begins the story, yeah? So we had to do our once upon a time, or we had to build on a once upon a time and work on that for our story to make meaning. Okay, so we started out the year first off with an introduction to NIMSA SCOPI. It was more of digging deep, going far and wide to find out what exactly NIMSA SCOPI is and how we got here, how far we have come, who we are, and what is our mandate. So this was tagged SCOPI 101. And this was the very first activity of NIMSA SCOPI for 2022. Yeah, so it was basically an introduction into the NIMSA body and her roles and responsibilities and all whatnot. All right, so since we had everyone abreast on who we are and what we are about, we decided to launch further, having unveiled our agenda for the year, like the director said. We had to keep to it. Yes, we had to ensure that we're not just speaking bogus. The first project for the year, as it were, was the World Cancer Day project held on the 4th of February 2022. This was an online awareness with the international theme Close the Care Gap. So it was a call to the government and individuals to apply measures in order to reduce
We are sorry for that interruption. I believe she's trying to get a more conducive place to continue. Please, beloved, if you are there, you can take the floor, please. Hello, beloved, are you there?
All right, I'm very sorry about that. I couldn't be excused, so I had to excuse my former location. I do hope my apologies are accepted. Thank you very much. All right, so I was talking about the first project of NIMSA SCOPI for the year 2022, which was World Cancer Day. It was a virtual project and it was an advocacy call to the government and individuals, NGOs, caregivers, and what have you, to fund more federal hospital, to learn more about cancer and to encourage early detection and management of this menace being cancer. All right, so the next project, it was, we're on the roll, so we had to keep going from one to the other. When you begin climbing the ladder, is forward ever or upward ever. So the next was the International Women's Day, held on the 8th of March, with the international theme, Break the Bias. But we had our sub-theme, which was stopping female genital mutilation. Yes, so this was also a, a virtual project with calls to the government as well to enact laws for elimination of female genital mutilation. We had a call to educators and NGOs to help with orientation and training of stakeholders and decision makers. We had a call to medical students associations, including NIMSA, to organize physical awareness and enlighten their host community on FGM and reproductive health. And to our own selves, medical students, utilize every opportunity to educate people, especially females, on the health hazards of female genital mutilation. All right, the very next one was World Water Day, which was held on the 22nd of March. This, we had a peculiar twist too, as we asked all Nigerian medical students to send in their ideas. We encouraged initiatives or innovativeness of medical students in NIMSA to send their ideas with their names and MSCs, not more than 30 words, on how the government can make provision for free and clean drinking water to Nigerian rural communities. Yes, the emphasis was on rural communities because that is where we see more people resorting to unclean and unsafe sources of water. And we did have quite a number of submissions from AMSU, from FOSA, from ESUMSA, from KUMSA, and from BOOMSA, what have you. We had a good number of submissions from medical students. I'll just read one particular one from Ahmad Adam, FOMSA. He said government should look forward to seeing that water leakages and broken pipes are repaired to avoid the water being contaminated by bacteria. So we had a lot more submissions from a lot more persons with their peculiar ideas as to how the government can provide clean and safe water for the Nigerian populace, especially in the rural communities. On to the next one, which was the big one. Yeah, what we are about, health. World Health Day was or is on the 7th of April every year. So in 2022, we had the theme, Our Planet, Our Health. This was our very first collaboration for the year, and it was with SCOPI, that's the Standing Committee on Environment and Population Activities. Yes, we did acknowledge that we all do not have to run a parallel race. Sometimes we have to join forces and join efforts to see that we are making impact or to see that our common goal is being achieved. So with this collaboration, we created awareness online, and we also utilized the NIMSA policy document, Bill Against Climate Change and its Threats to Humanity and Our Surroundings. This was called directly from the NIMSA policy document, and we utilized the Google file and made it available for all NIMSites to view. What is our stand, our particular stand on climate change, on the environment in general, the planet? and what have you. So we brought this closer to all insights so that we know exactly what we profess and would be able to defend it out there, even in our own actions. So on from that, the next project we had still in April was the World Immunization Week. This, as we know, it drew a lot of attention because I would rightly say that it was SCOPI's biggest program for the year, and it was a joint program, so to say. It wasn't one particular thing, and we weren't working alone. We had our sister standing committee, the Standing Committee on Public Health, rather SCOF, and we had first off a webinar featuring Yi Yufang, a leading pharmacist and member of the Malaysia National COVID-19 Immunization Program. So that took place on the 28th of April, and it was carried out in collaboration with SCOPI, like I said. The theme was COVID-19 vaccine, myth, policies, safety, and effects. As we all know, we're just coming out from the COVID-19 era, and there's still a lot that surrounds this. The next event that was in this bumper package, if I could call it that, was the dispelling of myths with facts about COVID-19 vaccine and immunization generally. It was an online awareness spanning 6 days. The third, which was like the crown on it all, was a physical outreach to a rural community with or without primary health care center. This outreach was done by the MSCs located in or close to these communities in the states where these communities are. And the outreach was aimed at massive sensitization on the importance, advantages, and correcting the false news on immunization. Banners were printed by the MSAs, resource materials were made available. The outreach held on different days, depending on the convenience of the MSAs involved. As we know, this was during the period of the strike. Most schools were on strike, most MSCs, but some were not. But then we found a way. It was wonderful how SCOPI Diamonds worked together, putting their resources, their time, their energy, and all to ensure that they carried out this project with meager resources, with few hands and all. We are able to pull out this in collaboration with the primary health care centers. I'd like to note that vaccines were also given on that day. It wasn't just talk, and talk. We had the COVID-19 vaccine, as well as a number of other vaccines peculiar to the audience or the community. I would hurry up now, seeing that we spent quite some time on this. The next we had was quite peculiar. It was the SCOPI debate on a very peculiar topic, I would say. Should women's health be prioritized over men's health? That's a question we would all answer, being that we are either women or men. I stand to be corrected. All right, so that was between the 9th to 13th of May. We know that May is the... All right, sorry about that. Okay, so the next project we had was the World No Tobacco Day on the 31st of May. It was an online awareness event as well. Next was the International Men's Health Week. We don't do just women. We ensure that men are carried along as well. We are all equals. That's what we're professing. So we should act and say alike. Down to the middle of the year, we had the SCOPI mid-year quiz, or end of first half SCOPI NINSA quiz, whichever way you put it. It was an internal project, and we examined our progress so far in knowing what we profess, in knowing what we preach, and then down to practicing it. So this was done in June. Then down to the third quarter of the year. For this quarter, we had the MSEs go back, revisit what they have done so far in the first half of the year, and pick a particular project which was perhaps not done properly because of the strike or whatever reason, or which needs more stressing in their particular environment, in their particular community or MSE, and carry out a project on this theme. It could be an international project, it could be one that was peculiar to SCOPI. So we had a lot of MSCs participate in this. ABSUMSA had a debate. AMSU had an event on the Heart Awareness Day. That's the cardiovascular project. We had projects on no smoking, no tobacco, protection of the environment. That's World Health Day, World Sickle Cell Awareness Day, ETC. We had the debates, we had oral health campaign, we had projects on World Water Day, immunization, and so on and so forth. It's peculiar to note that although one of the MSEs could not carry out this project during this period, they endeavored and put in their best to ensure that they did it not so long ago. Yes, that was if I remember correctly, that was in December, the second week of December, the 10th of December. Yes, and that is Lutz. They carried out this particular project that we had for the third quarter. It's the commitment for me to ensure that, okay, this should be done, and we would ensure that we would do it the right way and do it to the very end. Okay, so that was for the third quarter of the year. For the last quarter of the year, SCOPI was working on a peculiar project, I would say. And although it hasn't come to be yet, we know that it would come to be very soon. It is a collaboration with the National Health Insurance Agency, formerly National Health Insurance Scheme, a training of trainers to ensure that medical students get to know better about health insurance and educate their community, their immediate community, and those who need knowing about this on health insurance. So although this is still in the pipelines, we have come quite a long way. We've reached out to the head office at Abuja concerning this. We're in constant communication with the technical assistant to the director general, and the project has more or less been approved. But then, being that we have run out of time and the year had come to an end, we had to put a pause on that. But we'll definitely follow it through to ensure that we make out good from this project and the aim we have for it. I'm sorry for dragging this on and on, but I had to somehow exhaust what we had for the year. Thank you very much for listening and for staying tuned. Beloved, are you there? I think I've spoken quite a lot. Someone else should come take this mic from me. Hello, beloved.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Please, can you hear me?
Hello, beloved. I can't hear you.
Beloved, we can't hear you. I think I can hear you in bits and pieces. But then, just to save time, the next item would have the SCOPI Academy come to give us a brief on what they have done. So I'd love to invite the SCOPI Academy Coordinator, Aluga Joshua, to just give us a brief expose on the SCOPI Academy 2022. Let's make welcome Aluga Joshua.
Hello, please, can you all hear me?
Yes,
Please,
I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to share my screen now. Please, how many minutes do I have? Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Well, okay, I'm coming. I'll be super fast today.
Okay, while he's getting ready his screen, please permit me to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Vincent Chibweze, the Senior Reg Cardiothoracic Surgery, Nasarawa State Specialist Hospital. Thank you very much, sir, for honoring us with your presence. We also have the outgoing SCORA Director with us. Thank you so much for being here. And then we have Khalifa, HMD SCOPI Director 2020. Thank you, Chief, for being here. And for everyone who has joined us thus far, we are very grateful to have you with us. Please proceed, Joshua. Okay, I don't know if you're speaking, Joshua. I can't hear you.
Please, sorry, my mic was muted and I was talking. Sorry about that. Can you hear me
I
now?
should have notified you earlier on. Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I will start from the
Yes, but
beginning. So, and our methodology of our activities for the year was actually divided. So we had per webinar series. So we had first in the beginning of the year and ending of the year. So the first one was 1.0, the last one was 2.0. So, and the first one we actually then when we started, a lot of people didn't know about SCOPI Academy, SCOPI itself. So we had to have a publicity, kind of not early publicity, but we had to discuss more about what policy and external affairs is, and we also discussed more about what SCOPI Academy has to offer in the year, that year entirely. So we had 2 days webinar so that we discuss all these stuff. So after the discussion, then that was when we but we started preparation for the training before then, but that was just like a publicity for the training. So after then we started and most of the groundwork for the training itself. The training was divided into 2 phases, first phase and second phase. First phase was just like and how will I say it? It's actually 3 months training, but the first phase was basically what's a criteria that will take you to the second phase. That was the major where the core courses are actually taken, and not actually the core courses, but that's where most of the foundation will be laid there. So we had to, the first phase was, I won't say most of we had almost 500. Let me just go to the next slide so that I will just explain it. Okay, so we in the during the training for the first phase, we admitted 554 students. So when during those process, we had to and we had nominations from standing committees, from those that fill in the form. And because we had Google form, that those that fill in the form and everything, we compiled all their list. There were 554. There were multiple groups for each, and we categorized them into the 9 standing committees. Then after then we started the main activity for the main training activities. And I've skipped the part for the courses and the rest so that I won't take so much time. So I'll just explain the major concept. So we had for the first phase and 233 students passed, then and while 300 failed. But in the second phase, we had almost 124 in 153, sorry, passed completely, while 80 failed. So we had 153 that passed the second criteria for the second phase. Is basically the counts for the standing committee. Scorer had a very high score, then SCORI, then SCOPI, based on the groupings that we had. Then, and based on performance of the trainers, we had Scorer performed very high. Then Scopy and then Scory also performed very high. Then Scopy, that was basically most of how it was. Then, and we had almost 58 policy documents that were drafted out. And because I say 58 policy documents doesn't mean it's just 58. It was 27 policy topics, but it was splitted. Like some groups were taking double. That's what I mean, like some were taking double. So, and it wasn't just completely that. So, and the major one was we have 27 policy topics that were worked on, but we had almost 58 policy statements that were drafted out. That was for the first. Then for the policy documents, we had 27 of them. So, for our online attendance assessments, we had a minimum of 80 trainees in our Zoom call. Then in but the maximum of 130 trainees in our online sessions. And for live stream on YouTube, we had 10 live streams. Then for our success rate, for the first phase, we had 42.1%. For the second phase, we had 65.7%. Now, most of our top achievements it was the largest policy and advocacy training in Nigeria and Africa, I may say, and we may brag and even say in the world entirely among medical students, I may say. Then, and we had developed almost 20 policy documents for association to guide our activities for the coming year. Then, and it was one of the largest online network opportunity for medical students throughout the year in NIMSA. Sorry. And we also recorded the highest average attendance compared to other and online events. We had the only online training that cuts across all standing committees of the association. And it was successfully enrolled under FMC programs, and it was highly supported by them too. Then, and most of I'll just go on the challenges that we had. Once our major challenge was funding to secure Zoom platform for over 100 participants. So throughout this training, we were struggling on that issue. We were unable to fix it. Then a lot of few medical students, most of the students don't have research writing skills. So, and most of the criteria was writing policy documents and the rest. So we had issues with that. Then there was non-involvement of standing committee directors as expected. Then we had failure of printing hard copy certificates because that was one of the things we plan on doing, but it was unfortunately not successful in doing that. Then we also had an encouraging support from the secretariat also. So these are just the picture highlights of most of the activities, most of the posters out there. I think that's all. So I hope I've not taken much of your time. So that's all from me. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you so much. Sorry that I rushed through so much. Sorry, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Joshua, for that one. Thank you for making it as brief as possible. If anyone has any inputs, please do well to raise your hand or drop them on the chat box. So quickly now, moving on to the next agenda rather, which is the policy document launch. That will be preceded quickly by a talk by the policy document officer, Michael Foucault.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
hello,
sir,
Gifts. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, perfect. Please, how long do I have for this presentation?
You have 3 minutes, sir.
Is that?
You have 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, that's not much. All right, thank you very much. Standing on already existing protocols, my name is Uko Michael Martin Shibuze, and I served as the chairman for the Policy Document Review Committee for NIMSA SCOPI for the current administration. My primary objective was to develop a database containing policy documents for the national member organization for NIMSA Nigeria. These policy documents were to be used for our advocacy efforts, both internally and externally for NIMSA Nigeria. We moved on to establish the Policy Review Committee, which worked alongside the Policy Academy. And with the graduate trainees from the Policy Academy, we were able to actually develop and generate 22 policy documents across 6 standing committees and create a database for these policy documents. Let's see if I can share my screen. Okay. All right, Gift, do let me know if my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes,
okay.
sir, it is.
Okay, perfect. So basically, we developed 22 policy documents across 6 standing committees, working hand in hand simultaneously with the Policy Academy. What we did was, rather than go ahead to have small working groups work to develop these policy documents, we rather used...
Okay, sir, we can't see the files yet, the slides yet. We just see it.
You can't see the slides. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, we can see them now.
All right. So basically, what we did was we had a policy training by the SCOPI Academy, and we graduated over 200 policy writers and trainees. And these trainees, together with the Policy Review Committee, drafted 22 policy documents across 6 standing committees. So this is a sample of one of the policy documents. This particular one is from SCOPI, and it's on air pollution. It has 2 different segments. It has the policy statement and the position paper. The policy statements contain introductions, NIMSA position, which is basically an encompassing statement from all NIMSites generally, which gives their stance on a particular health topic. Position paper gives evidences for most of our stance on most of these health topics. And eventually, we have references to prove most of our stance. We also went ahead to also create what we call the 2025 agenda. The 2025 agenda was a plan that was born out of the need to solve a particular problem, the problem of sustainability. There was always this concern, which is not just national, but also global, regarding sustainability and continuity, especially for a topic as external affairs, where trying to create a draft which actually gave a roadmap to external affairs for the NMO and how we were going to establish and develop external affairs within NIMSA Nigeria. Is my screen visible? Hello, Gift, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So basically, what the 2025 agenda contains is an introduction to the concept itself, the vision and the goals of the NMO in terms of external affairs, which were divided to both internal goals and external goals. We went further to identify stakeholders and partners that we wanted to work with as an NMO, and related it to each of the bodies in NIMSA Nigeria that were supposed to make these partnerships. We identified the kind of partnerships that you're supposed to make. Each and every one of these were tabulated in the documents. We would share a link to the documents for everyone to be able to access it, because we don't have so much time to analyze it. Then we identified pillars for external affairs. These pillars were very important as they served as indicators for us to be able to determine the efforts which we are making towards external affairs for the NMO. The pillar 1 was policy making, pillar 2 was advocacy, and the third pillar was capacity building in terms of external affairs. We also developed a monitoring and evaluation strategy, which would cost for the next 3 years. The first year was to check for the efficiency of our partnerships and how much we've achieved in terms of partnerships. The second year was to check the implementation of most of these strategies and the policy documents. And the third year, we were to have a final evaluation of the work and the efforts by the 2012 agenda and the use of the policy documents invariably. So basically, these were what we worked on. And we hope that in the coming administration, we'll be able to utilize the policy documents and the 2012 agenda as a roadmap to developing and building up on the little that we'll be able to achieve this particular administration. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martins, for making that as brief but yet as expository as possible. Okay, please, I want to apologize for my background. I have run the length and breadth of where I am to find a quieter place, but I'm stuck with this. So, before we proceed, I'd love to acknowledge the presence of the PUMSA president, in the person of Imo Henry. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. And also the SCOPI director, the outgoing SCOPI director, Muhammad Abubakar. We also have the SCOP director, Colin Sinado, and our very own boss, the NIMSA president, Webster Honora. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. We are honored to have you. And the best of times, at this point, we'll be receiving comments and recommendations from the NIMSA president, as well as the NIMSA president-elect and VP external, VP internal, and other standing committee directors that are still here with us. So to kickstart that, would have a comment from the NIMSA president, Sir Webster Honora. We welcome you, sir. Thank you very much for being here. I am passing the mic over to you now, though not literally. Okay, I don't know if he is still here. Are you here with us, sir? All right, I don't see
yeah,
him here.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear
Hello?
you.
Okay. Any noisy background?
No,
No, okay, perfect.
thank you.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols duly observed. First of all, I'll start by offering my sincerest apologies for having joined the meeting quite later than appointed. It's not in my nature to be late to appointments. I'm currently starting my professional exam next week, and I had one or two running about to do you know how this thing goes. So without much ado, I'll start by the SCOPI director, the outgoing SCOPI director, if I'm not mistaken, Comrade Elekwachi Victor. I will start by saying that you're a very courageous leader, that you're very visionary, and I'm gladdened that whatever target you've set, and equally you set alongside your administrative team, you're able to accomplish them. I'm most grateful for the, I don't know, I think I'll just give the credit to the administrative team. I don't want to start mentioning names of contributors to the policy document. I think this policy document was one that started on the, okay, first, let me take it systematically. One of the things and one of the achievements that I was, should I say, heavily impressed with, you get noting the standard, the commitment from both the participants and the trainers, and equally the caliber of facilitators that were invited, you get, for the training. I think it's one of a kind, and equally I think it's one that can equally be adopted as an NMO model for other NMOs to see how it is being done actually. So I would first and foremost start by thanking the Standing Committee Director once again. The policy, I think the policy training and advocacy, or the policy and advocacy training workshop, I think having followed up with the activities and the whole grading, the whole facilitations, the whole certifications, the whole standard, the discipline that was equally attached, because I had to equally inquire one-on-one with some of the participants for the training. And I can happily say that the policy and advocacy training team did a very marvelous job, and it was top-notch, it was standardized, and I'm most grateful for your efforts. So that being said, I will say huge kudos to the organizers, huge kudos to the contributors, those that contributed at various levels, starting from sourcing for facilitators, the logistics team, the planning and evaluation, and whatever subcommittee that was created to ensure the success of that policy and advocacy training workshop. My apologies if I don't get the whole thing as it's meant to be, but I think it's ranging. I think policy and advocacy training. I thank the organizers. I must commend the standard at which they carried out this training. I must equally commend the discipline. I must commend the commitment. And I believe and I pray, I think the incoming Standing Committee Director, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw him here, Comrade Christopher Moore, will take a cue from the organizers, consult the contributors wherever there were lapses in this year's edition. I believe it can always get better. In short, it gets better going forward. So since we've laid the standard, and the standard is actually standard, I believe and I know that the incoming SCOPI director, by the special grace of God, will deliver a higher standard, will raise the bar, and NIMSA will keep growing in leaps and bounds. That being said, once again, huge kudos and hearty cheers to the organizers, the facilitators, and equally the participants. The participants, I think they are the ones that are the most important here because they are the ones that we are expecting social return from. They're the ones who would help the NMO in drafting policies and in external advocacy, internal advocacy efforts. So I thank the participants for their commitment. I thank the scoring team, the graders. I don't know the various subcommittees, but at least with the oversight view I had about the training, I can fully attest that a quality job was done, a standardized job was done, and it's one in which should stand the test of time, provided the association wants to remain progressive. That being said, on to the next. First and foremost, I would thank the past president, President Umar Dambuba, who initiated the NIMSA policy document, of which we have some of our allies in the association review that wonderful piece of document, which was launched, I think, if I'm not mistaken, during the International Health Summit of 2021. I thank our reviewers, your diligence. I appreciate your diligence. I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your problem-solving skills. It's not easy to be innovative. It's not easy to be creative. So I appreciate your efforts and the association. And on behalf of the NIMSA Secretariat, we don't take your efforts for granted. And this means a lot to the association, and we cherish it with every fiber of our being. So that being said, I appreciate the contributors. And I believe that this NIMSA policy document, the revised edition, with contributions from the various standing committees that we have. And I know some concerns were raised of some standing committee directorates not being actively involved in the review. I think, this is, should I say, a new, should I say, yeah, an innovation in our old system. You get. For me, I am always optimistic about innovative ideas. I'm always optimistic about innovative projects. So I always believe that it gets better going forward. The directors that were not able to make inputs this year, I believe that in the next administrative term and through the proactive measures that will be taken by the incoming SCOPI director, you'll find, should I say, I don't want to use the word incentive, but he'll find innovative ways, let me put it that way, to get the various standing committee directorates actively involved in the review of this policy document. So with that being said, in a nutshell, thank you so much to the NIMSA SCOPI administrative team. Thank you so much for the diligence you've put starting from day one. I can still remember when the SCOPI director met me during the NEC meeting and was so enthusiastic about this project. And I'm very happy that despite the odds, despite the constraints, he was able to achieve everything that he aimed for, at least a majority, a sizable majority. And I would give the SCOPI administrative team a distinctive mark because they've been able to set standards, they've been able to raise the bar, and I believe that it gets better going forward. So that being said, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. If there's any other function that is required of me, I would be very happy and very gladdened to be of service. And thank you so much for having me at the helms of leadership for the past, should I say, 364 days. 364 days, I guess. Thank you so much for having me at the helms of affairs. And I hope to see you all as I bow out of service, or I bow. yes, out of service to the association tomorrow by 10 a.m. Looking forward to seeing you. And once again, huge kudos to the SCOPI administrative team. We cherish you. We love the diligence. We love the commitment you've put into this work. And I strongly believe that it gets better going forward. And on behalf of the NIMSA Secretariat, I think Joshua Aluga raised a concern about the Secretariat not being, should I say, what was the word that was used so that I don't quote you out of context? Okay, I think we weren't cooperative with the NIMSA SCOPI team. Using the term that we weren't cooperative, I think it's quite a harsh one. It's quite a harsh one. If you base the level of cooperation on just financial disposition, I think it's a harsh assessment actually. But notwithstanding, I'm the chief servant of the association, and I will take blames, I will take responsibilities of whatever shortcomings my administrative term might have produced. And in that light, I'm offering my sincerest apologies. I'm offering my deepest, should I say, apologies for the seemingly uncooperative nature of the NIMSA Secretariat in the affairs of NIMSA SCOPI. It's not in our nature. We try as much as possible to be all-inclusive. We try as much as possible to ensure that we anastomose with every standing committee directorate, and we try as much as possible to assist them in any way we can. And I think that was equally part of the reasons why during the course of the NIMSA International Health Summit, we were able to have standing committee sessions. We were able to have various training sessions, though not standing committee sessions, but these are activities like they are standing committee oriented workshops, get more like a simulation. And during the GA, we were able to have standing committee sessions. So we try as much as possible to anastomose with the various standing committee directorates. We have our shortcomings, of which I'm sincerely apologizing for. And I pray that you do not nurse any resentment you get for these ill givings. Please forgive us. And that being said, once again, kudos to the NIMSA SCOPI administrative team. Thank you so much for the diligence. Thank you so much for the hard work. Thank you so much for the commitment. Thank you so much for the creativity. And I believe that it gets better going forward. Thank you so much for having me, and do have a wonderful night. Or if there's any other function, my able SCOPI director will want me to perform, I'm at your disposal. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I would have paid a round of applause if we were in a physical event. Thank you so much. It's the superlatives for me. I do hope I speak for all. So we are very appreciative of all your efforts and the efforts of the administration in this year. So without much ado, would want to invite, if he's still present, the NIMSA president-elect in the person of Senior Comrade Skills Egba. We welcome you, sir. If you still here, I can't see a lot of names, but we are inviting you right now to take the podium. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Gift, the anchor and moderator of this wonderful session, or do I call it a launch of the policy document now. NIMSA president, the SCOPI director, and all protocols duly observed. It gladdens my heart to be here this evening for this wonderful occasion. I wouldn't want to bore you guys with plenty talk. The NIMSA president has said it all. Just to say that I've never been in doubt with the capacities of the person of the SCOPI director, in person of Victor Lekwachi, bright. He is from my alma mater. He's my comrade. He's from the Confident Pride, Jumsa. We always deliver in everywhere we find ourselves. So I'm not surprised that he's been able to put together this wonderful team of progressives. It takes one with a progressive heart to be able to assemble people with similar mindsets and with such progressive mindset that, okay, all they want to do is for the sake of posterity. And I wouldn't have been prouder than I am right now. So I am challenging the incoming SCOPI director. I'm sure he's here. Christopher Omo. He's a very wonderful guy too. We've started working already, even when we've not assumed office. And so far, I can say that he's going to ride on this foundation that has been laid today by this able team to see that he can bring a greater and much more better leadership to this wonderful standing committee. So I'd want to say a big thank you to the SCOPI director, a big thank you to the team for a wonderful job done. And look, moving forward, I hope that you guys don't relent. See this as a call or a clarion call for more services to be done to NIMSA and then to the larger society as a whole. So I want to thank you for this privilege to address you guys. And I also encourage you guys to stick around, stay in touch, because there's a lot of job to be done moving forward. So thank you very much. And I wish you all a good evening.
Gracious evening to you too, sir. Thank you very much as well. Thank you, and thank you again to everyone for still being here. Please, I want to implore you to stick around still to the very end. At this point, we'd love to quickly invite the VP internal in person of Comrade Dodo Emmanuel to for his comment. Yes, thank you very much. Let's make welcome the VP internal.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'll make it very brief as possible. Good day, my fellow namesites. All protocols duly observed. Can everyone hear me? Am I sure? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
It's indeed an honor to be here to represent at this handover and policy document launch. Like you rightly said, every good beginning deserves a happy ending. And I'm sure SCOPI 2022 is deserving of that happy ending. The year 2022 was indeed a very active year for NIMSA, with a lot of activities coming in from every NOC member and standing committees. I must say, Lekwashi Victor, SCOPI Director, National Director, and his working team has really done very well. And all of us gathered here can attest to that fact that Lekwashi Victor shaped SCOPI to be one of the most active standing committee. Permit my biasness at this junction and all other standing committees director present. I must thank you, Elekwachi Victor, and your working team for raising the standards and putting SCOPI on that high pedestal. And I know Christopher Omo, the SCOPI elect, has a huge shoe to fill. But I am certain for a fact that with the guidance, mentorship, and support from the outgoing SCOPI director, our prayers is that SCOPI will get elevated much further. And on a side note, I would say I can remember how actively and passively I attended the SCOPI Training Academy, and I really enjoyed it for 3 months that it lasted. But on a sad note, I didn't pass the exam. I was a bit of a truant. I had a lot of activities, but the experience and training was worth it. And I must say, well done once more. Well done, Elekwachi Victor and your working team. Thank you very much for having me and giving me the platform to speak. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, quickly would want to move on to something else before we would take other comments, commendations, and criticisms if there are any. All right, so we would have special awards right now, and this would be taken by the current minister president, if he's still here with us. And thereafter, we'll be having awards to the NEC, the SCOPI NEC, by the past director, Hassan Mohammed. And if we also have our past director as well, Zunduez Victor, they will do that together. The first being the special awards that will be taken by the current minister president, if he's still here. Okay, if he isn't here with us, we would have our president-elect do that special assignment for us. Is any of them here still?
Okay, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't quite get that. What am I supposed to do again?
Okay, you're supposed
Can you hear
to
me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay.
You're supposed to help us pass on the hello, can I be heard?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if other persons can hear you though.
Okay, a special award to Comrade Idodo. Sorry about that. A special award on this.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. Sorry, I think there's a little mix up for the award session. We'll start by awarding the NOC members, the outgoing NOC members. We are faithful is trying to display the screen. We want to give awards to very special persons that have assisted us. Before we move on to the directors and the rest of them, we just start by awarding. So faithful, do we have, can you share the screen, please? Can you share so that we would do that very quickly? The first award would be to able comrade, the first person, the #1 medical student in Nigeria. It's an award of recognition presented to Webster Jideofor Honora, the president of the Nigerian Medical Students Association, the 2022 administration. We want to thank you for your support to SCOPI in the 2022 administration, signed by Victor Chukwemeka, SCOPI Director 2022. Thank you so much, sir. We wish we can give you a physical round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. On to the next one. Yes. All right. So also again, we have an award of recognition presented to Emmanuel Idodo, the Vice President Internal of the Nigerian Medical Students Association 2022 administrative year. We want to thank you especially for your support to SCOPI in the 2022 administration. And this certificate is signed by Lekwachi Victor Chukwemeka, the SCOPI Director 2022. Thank you so much, sir, for the encouragement. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being there all through. Thank you. Congratulations, sir. Yes. Okay, I think we can move to the next. I don't think the Vice President External is present. Let's move to the next two. I don't think he's present. All right. This award is supposed to be given by somebody. This one is supposed to be given by the president, not myself now. I would invite Comrade Idodo. Sorry, it seems I muted myself. Comrade Idodo to please take over the next series of award. Please, Comrade Idodo, are you there? The Vice President Internal.
Okay, I'm present. I'm here.
Please. What's the honor?
Okay. Good day, everyone. Okay, I'm privileged to present an award by the award of recognition to the Standing Committee on Public Health Director, Temitayo Femi Matthew. Award of recognition for your partnership and support to Standing Committee on Public Policy Implementation in the 2022 administrative year. So if you're here, it's an honor to present this award to you, Mr. Director. Yeah. So let's go to the next one. Okay, I'd also like to present an award of recognition to Mohammed Abubakar, Standing Committee on Environment Policy, SCOIPA Director, and our recognition for your partnership and support to SCOPI in the 2022 administrative year. Yeah, so it's an honor also to present an award to you, Mr. Director. Okay, I'll be presenting an award also to, can I see the screen? Okay, on behalf of the Standing Committee on Policy Implementation, I'm privileged to present an award to the most active liaison officer, a female category, Inua Hafsat. So it's a privilege to present this award to you, ma'am. Yeah, so on to the next one. And also the male category for the most active liaison officer, Muhammad Ali. It's a privilege to present this award to you also. Okay. Okay, it's also a privilege to present this award to the most active NEC member, male category. No gifts. Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, female category. Gift. Sorry. It's a privilege to present this award to you also. Thank you. Sorry, can that person mute his mic? Or can you mute everyone's mic?
All right. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I think your function as you've done your function. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay,
the NEC was supposed to be presented by the past SCOPI director, so maybe we'll just take it over from there. I really want to appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome this past SCOPI director, 2020 administration, the person of Khalifa HMD, to please do us the honor to give the following awards. Yes, starting from the most active liaison officer, male and female, then to the NEC members. Thank you. Please, are you still with us? Yes, think from this, please.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to appreciate my presence here and also appreciate the present executives of the Standing Committee on Policy and Implementation for inviting me to this wonderful and history-making occasion. I was wishing I would have an opportunity for a little bit of comment at the beginning of the event, but unfortunately, I will use this little opportunity to throw in some little words of commendation and also what that we can also ponder about. I'm really so proud to associate with the kind of personalities I've seen here at the SCOPI, and I can bear witness to your ability and also to the wonderful work you have done with the Standing Committee policy document. It will be surprising for people to know that I was in NIMSA as the Standing Committee Director on Policy and Implementation in 2020. At that point in time, that was where we initiated the creation of special working groups for the amendment and also for the review of NIMSA policies, and also to inculcate it into a single document that will be actually available to every standing committee and then executed at the standing committee levels. Coincidentally, my tenure lapsed 2020 as the Standing Committee on Policy Implementation, and I aspired to be the NIMSA president at that point in time. And part of my agendas was also to have to deal in developing greater policies that will not only be applicable under NIMSA, but also applicable under the Nigerian Federation and also at the global stage. My view was to see NIMSA producing policies that are relevant and considered at a global stage. But God willingly, 2021, I was fortunate to be part of the National Secretariat of NIMSA, where I was opportune to be the National Secretary General under Dambuba. I think with this, what we have tried to do has gone a long way in shaping the precedents that I am seeing today that is beautifully being celebrated. And of course, for the outgoing steward of SCOPI, especially the director, I think this is something that history will forever remember you for. I always regard NIMSA Standing Committee on Policy and Implementation as the engine room of NIMSA. This is due to the fact that it remains not just the architectural brainbox of NIMSA policies, but it is tasked with also enforcing other policies of the Standing Committee and also reviewing their policy document. NIMSA's SCOPI is so important, is so there and very intricate, especially at a point in time where we know there's little precedence in activity. And I think with the likes of Victor Bright, the future is really bright for not just NIMSA, but NIMSA SCOPI in the future. While I put a pause on this, I would like to use this opportunity on behalf of the over 50,000 medical students in Nigeria, the Nigerian Medical Student Association, and also the Standing Committee on Policy and Implementation to present this award of recognition to Ms. Inua Hafsat, Liaison Officer of SCOPI of AMSUL, as the most active liaison officer of the year 2022. Congratulations, Ms. Inua Hafsat.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Also, on behalf of the Nigerian Medical Student Association and SCOPI, I wish to present this award of recognition to Mr. Mohammed Ali for your contributions to the NIMSA SCOPI and for the development of NIMSA as the most active liaison officer of the male category. Congratulations, Mr. Mohammed Ali.
Thank you very much for the award. I'm highly honored to receive such award. Thank you very much.
In the same milieu and also reverence, on behalf of the Nigerian Medical Student Association and the NIMSA SCOPI, I wish to present this award of recognition to Ms. Ewulonu Gift for your contributions to the development of SCOPI and NIMSA in general. as the most active NEC member, female, of the SCOPI 2022 administration. Congratulations, ma.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you, SCOPI.
Also, in the same vein, may I present this award on behalf of the Nigerian Medical Student Association and the NIMSA SCOPI to Mr. Oba Francis Faithful, the SCOPI Media Director, as the most active NEC member. Thank you, sir, for your contributions to the development of the Nigerian Medical Student Association and also the NIMSA SCOPI. History will really remember you for all your contributions that we are witnessing today. Mr. Joshua Alugon Gideon, the Standing Committee on Policy and Implementation Academic Coordinator. May I, on behalf of the 40,000 medical students of the Nigerian Medical Student Association and also SCOPI, present this award as the SCOPI Man of the Year. Of course, I don't know what are the gradients or what are the meter used to grade you as the SCOPI Man of the Year. But given this title of the award, I believe you are really a man of influence in the SCOPI team, and you have contributed a lot that they deem you worthy of having this emblem. Congratulations, Mr. Joshua Aluga.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the function you just helped us to perform. We are really grateful. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. It just seems as if your dream, your one-time dream and vision was transferred, even though we did not have any conversation of such to transfer or communicate those dreams, but somehow nature was just faithful to transfer those ideas to this administration, and by the grace of God, we were able to do our best to bring them to reality. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
For the next.
Thank you very much. Please, unfortunately, may I use this opportunity to seek for the permissions of this hallowed house? I'm presently on call. I need to go back to attend to the emergency room.
Indeed, sir. Thank you so much for being here. We are very grateful that despite being on call, you took our time to be here. Thank you, and thank you again. Okay. All right. So quickly would be coming to the crux of today's event, which is the handover proper. But okay, we'll move on to that. In case you have any comments or anything to say, any official who does have anything to say should please do well to type it in the chat box or notify me, and would be called as at when due. So we'll be moving on to the handover proper, and for this we would have the person handing over, of course, and the person being handed over to. All right. Okay. So before we go over to the handover, just be reminded, thank you very much. We have a very short video to play. It's basically the NIMSA SCOPI 2022 service year or administrative year in graphics. So it won't take a long while. Let's just see through. Wow. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you very much, Faithful. Thank you very Who else had bombs watching that? It was indeed beautiful. Thank you, SCOPI. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to that wonderful journey. You can say that again, Amara. It was emotional. Okay. So quickly, we'll be going over to the handover proper, and we'll be having our very own SCOPI director and the SCOPI director elect for this function. Let's welcome both of them. And I believe it would be just the person handing over, the person being handed over from here on. So over to you, Sas. Hello, can I be heard? Is the SCOPI director still here? SCOPI director, sir.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
All right.
We can hear you.
Thank you so much. Standing on the existing protocols, I still remain my humble self, Elekwachi Victor Chukwemeka. It has been a night of nights for me, sitting back and watching all that have been going on, listening to all that have been said, from the good reports to the comments, the commendations from both the presidents and the vice presidents and the past SCOPI director and, every one of you. I really want to say a big thank you. Please, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can. I can hear you, boss.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right. It has been an emotional evening or night for me. And looking back from where we started, all I can say is a big thank you to God Almighty and to this great team. The team, I can't accord any glory to myself because it was not a it was not a personal achievement. It was not something done in isolation or in solitude. It was together that we did these great things that have been put forward to you tonight. You've seen the 2022 agenda, the 2025 agenda. It's a roadmap to the next phase we are taking NIMSA to, or we intend to take NIMSA to. We tried to map out partners. We did a stakeholders analysis and mapping where we tried to map out possible partners that each and every one of the standing committees would be able to partner with and avoid jostling one another, avoid where we have people not knowing who to partner with. So we went to that extent of mapping out possible partners nationally, that's internally and externally. We'll be releasing the documents as soon as this program or this ceremony is over. And I would like and urge you all to carefully go through it. And I believe strongly that it will be worth the while. Again, is the partnership with the National Health Insurance Authority. We've achieved about 90% success as it is. By God's grace, it has been approved. We are just waiting for their resumption and its manifestation. Fortunately, we ran out of time, but we believe strongly that as soon as we get feedbacks from them that they are set on their own path with their materials, it will commence. The whole training and everything we have well packaged to be a laudable one would commence. May not fully be under my administration, but then the goal is NIMSA. Now over and to the main event, which is the handover. To my friend and brother, Christopher Umo, the SCOPI director for 2023. Just as every past director, I've run and worked with this baton called the Standing Committee on Policy Implementation. I have also run my race and have, by God's grace, fully delivered on my mandate. And I officially hand over to you today. But I would like to paint it in your mind right now. Nor will it be the roses and the high horse ride you might imagine it to be. You can make it so, either for yourself or for the next administration. But again, I would like to say that with great opportunities come great responsibility. With great opportunities come great responsibilities. And as our outgoing NIMSA president will always write on his status, he says, "On easy lies the head that bears the crown." Yes, so I'll urge you to brace up and to work. And I assure you that myself and other directors, both from SCOPI and everyone you reach out to, will be there for you all the way through. Do not hesitate to ask for guidance, lest you miss your way. My brother and friend, Umo Christopher, I, Elekwachi Victor Chukwemeka, the SCOPI Director 2022, I officially hand over the baton to you to go and do exploits with it. Congratulations, congratulations. The sky is your starting point. We'd like to also gather by this time next year to also listen to the good works that you'd be doing. And again, to take a great team to achieve great works. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, that goes directly to the SCOPI Director-elect. So I would welcome him now in the person of Umo Christopher. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good evening. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for attending this Zoom meeting. And I actually want to thank the outgoing SCOPI director, especially Victor Elekwachi from JUMSA. I really want to commend what you guys did. Your team, you guys did a very wonderful job. All protocols duly observed. My regards to everyone on this meeting right now. I thank you very much for attending the meeting. So I just want to thank you guys for what you've done. You've actually set the bar so high, and it's nice because it's usually, I think there's something Isaac Newton said that I have seen further by standing on the shoulder of giants. So as now, if I stand on your shoulders now, at least I can see a very clear picture. I have a lot of things to do that I like to do. I just need to streamline my focus. And I also want to thank you guys, especially for the support you've promised to give me, because I've spoken to a lot of you guys that have worked in this SCOPI administration, and you guys are actually really, really sound people. You guys have a very quality mindset and a very, very sound, intelligible way of thinking, which I appreciate. You guys can hear me if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So I also like to encourage everyone to keep the flag flying. I also want to encourage all of us to keep the good works up. I also want to reassure you guys of that I'm going to propel. I'm not going to do it alone. That's the fact. We are going to propel SCOPI to greater heights. We are taking SCOPI to greater heights. We are going to do and achieve results. And I would like to give us a little sneak peek of how I think. I think we should all come together with the mindset that we are coming to achieve great things. We are coming to give results. I'm a result-oriented person. Yeah, I like to do the whole just for cruise and all things, but results are really important. That's what you can show people. The Bible will always tell us to study to show yourself approved, because results is what to speak for you. Your results is always going to speak for you. Let us come together and not considering in mind who gets the glory. let's come together and put our mind to achieve great things. So I really want to thank you guys all. I don't want to like waste much time again. So it's been a wonderful session. And what I'm very grateful for is the fact that you guys have, a lot of you have assured me your support. So thank you very much. And I would also like to congratulate those that got the awards. Yeah, I also like congratulate the awardees. You guys have done exceptionally well. You guys have done exceptionally well. I know a lot of you personally, so I can vouch for you guys anywhere, anytime. So congratulations.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Once again, I don't know if we can hear me. This is Beloved speaking, the co-anchor. Sorry for my network issues earlier on. Please, can we all hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. So we've had a very great evening thus far, even though I missed a major lion part of the program. I'm sorry about that once again. So we are rounding up this program currently now, and then we'll be having our outgoing SCOPI D now. the outgoing SCOPI D, yes. So we'll be having him to give a vote of thanks. You know, this has actually been a very, very great year, and the word outgoing will not actually be worth it if you did not put in your best. So our director and all the executives put in their best, like the director especially, pushing all of us, making sure we are all okay and reaching out. He did a huge lot for SCOPI. So please let's have the director to give the vote of thanks. You are welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would start by appreciating very deeply every one of you. It means a lot to me and to every one of us. Yes. I would like to, I'm short of words, right? Yes. The 364 days were firstly more like a snail journey. So it looked so impossible. It looked like a very Herculean task. You know, what do I do for this long period of time? How do we achieve this? How do we do that? But the long and short of it is that we thank God that today it's coming to an end. I can remember my mom always complaining that you're always on meetings, you're always doing this, you're always, what time do you have? And all of that, you know, it took a lot, a whole lot, I'll tell you. I want to at this point extend my deepest gratitude to my amazing, I would say anywhere that God single-handedly handpicked this person. Sincerely, no caps. Yes, he handpicked them.
Sorry, Mr. Director, please, I think we lost you at some point in time. Thank you very much. All right, so while waiting for the director to come back, we can just run through the picture that was shared earlier on. Please hosts, can you? All right. So, please, can we have the? I think. Thank you very much. All right. So I think the director had network issues, but we've actually achieved a lot in this meeting. The main agenda for the meeting has been achieved. The handing over the good reports for the year from SCOPI Academy, from all our programs, and from SCOPI Academy policy launch. So, okay, now we have the director in our midst. We just continue from where you finished off. Thank you very much. Please, Mr. Director, can we have you now? Thank you very much.
I'm so sorry. Since my village people, they wouldn't want me to drop my pen properly. I'm so sorry. All right. I was saying that I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to the Assistant Director, Chinaza Nwachukwu. Without his support, we possibly wouldn't have been able to achieve the physical outreach we had in April for the immunization outreach. He rallied around in terms of financial contributions and the rest of them. I really want to thank you for being a support to me through this tenure. To my Secretary General, Ala Zidaga, thank you so much. She has always been there, prompt with her duties. Thank you so much. To Faithful, the faithful man, thank you. I disturbed a lot of people. I really disturbed a lot of people. I think there's nobody I spared. I can't see any name here that I spared. Down till this evening, we've been working, you know, to Faithful, to Joshua and Rakia. Rakia, thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Rakia. You see, I said something in a meeting I was in yesterday when I was trying to give them a brief. I told them that there's virtually nobody in my team, whether NEC or liaison officer, that was active this year, that I wouldn't recommend anywhere for any voluntary opportunity or any service at all, because more than occupying an office, I told them from the start that it would be a more like a coaching year whereby we would all learn, and we tried in as much as possible to achieve that. At a point, we gave room for liaison officers to flex their muscles, to exercise their muscles, to host outreaches, to host webinars, conferences, whatever, and a handful of them did that successfully. For the SCOPI Academy, of course, kudos to Joshua Rakia. Thank you so much. To Gift, the programs coordinator, thank you. The wonderful programs we had all through the year. A lot of disturbance. I disturbed everyone. Thank you for the brilliance. Thank you for the intelligence and your response and support all through. And to Favor Ndumele, most people some calling may not be present, but it's worthy of note that everyone really did their best. Favor Ndumele that drafted for us the proposals we used for those outreaches, we drafted and redrafted, a lot. I would cancel, he would go back again. He had his own team and all of that. Uche, financial secretary, thank you for your contributions. To Jihad and Success, the graphics guys. You can see we had arguably one of the best graphic designs this year, all kudos to Jihad and to Success. To Martins, Uku, Michael, thank you. The brain box behind most of our activities too. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your support. We had a lot of help from you in getting some of the facilitators, and you can hear the comments we got. Thank you so much. To Chidiogo, the PRO, thank you. You did your best down till this evening in publicizing the event. To my beloved brother, beloved Abemiloye, thank you. I troubled everybody. This man too inclusive. Everybody, thank you. I would say, in fact, I think what I will do after this meeting is to just say a big thank you to God for you guys. Thank you so much. You made this administrative year a seamless one for me. You made it easy, despite the mounting tax we took up, but it was a success because of you all. I tell you, I've received so many questions. Many people ask, when did you start planning this? When did you start planning that? And it doesn't seem as if it was in 1 year we achieved or we planned everything. Nobody would believe that it was as the training was going on, the policy training, that the planning too was progressive. Many people really thought that we started planning this thing the year before, but it was all kudos to every one of you, down to the small working group, Daniel, to Kojo Wood, Bolanle, every one of you, everyone. Thank you so much. To the liaison officers, thank you so much. Gloria from UNN, David, Absu, Hafsat, Damilola, Oladayo, Rabiu, Muazu, Echefu, Tochuku, Pratt, Jennifer, Abdul, Ridwan, every one of you. I can't really go on and on to mention your names, but all I would say is, to take this from me, that I am grateful to have worked with you. I am proud of every one of you. I would recommend you any day, anytime, and I'm sure I can beat my chest that you deliver, because you've seen, you've worked in an administration that delivered, and so you too will deliver. Thank you so much. From the depth of my heart, I appreciate every one of you. From the depth of my heart, I love you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. The agenda you are seeing on the screen, fully delivered, fully by God's grace, and it was possible because of you all. Thank you so much. We'll be releasing the policy document, we'll be releasing every material, the video, this agenda. We would like you all to help us publicize them, take them to every name site. The aim of the policy document is to get to every name site so that at their own niche, they can make maximum impact. They can attend conferences, they can attend meetings with this policy document and express the stand of NIMSA anywhere, anytime. They can say with this document that this is the interest of NIMSA. NIMSA is saying yes to this. NIMSA is saying no to this, to female genital mutilation. NIMSA is saying no to it. NIMSA is, and these are our points. These are the roles we think the government can play. They can advocate for our interests anywhere with these policy documents. And I believe that with your contributions, with your help in seeing that we drive these policy documents, in the space of time, before 2025, like the agenda says, we would have delivered all we have laid down today. Finally, to the incoming director, there's a lot for you to do. And I believe that with proper consultations, we are here. I assure you, you can pick from my team, the team that God has given me already. You can pick from them, and I know they would be very much instrumental to your own success too. Every one of them, there's none that was not active. They were all useful, and they would all help you too. And myself, I'm also here. Let's work together. Let's keep SCOPI flying. Let's keep NIMSA flying. And I know God will help keep Nigeria flying too. Thank you so much. That's it from my end. I love you all. Have a good night rest. God bless you.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being in this meeting. We are very grateful to have you. Now we can exit the meeting. Thank you very much.
Sorry. If you can take a picture, please. If you have any, you can please take a group picture. You can turn on your camera. I think Faithful, can you help us with that? Is it possible? Please, let's take a group picture so that we would have this for memory's sake. Please turn on your cameras. Please, Faithful, if you have taken the picture, you just let us know. For me here, I don't know how to do it. Please, if it's done, let us know. Please turn on your camera.
All right, we are done.
All right. So, thank you so much. Good night. Thank you for staying true to this time. Good night, everyone. God bless you.